Hello out there, and welcome to the Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today we have a real special guest. He's our new director of the Revere Senior Center. His name is Steve Fielding. First, let me welcome you, Steve, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Morris.
Before we get to you, I want to spend just one more minute. He was in a transition period working for the last 8 months with our retired director, Al Morelli. And so, Al, for your 35 years of service, thank you from all of us, from the city of Revere, and especially from the Revere Senior Center. Thank you, Al. And now I'm getting back to you, Steve.
Oh, that's great.
Okay?
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Tell us how you first got involved in this, and you can start off.
Well, basically, over the last 8 months, since July, when I came on board, we knew that we needed to go in a little bit of a different direction. Like you said, Al had been there for a long time, and sometimes change is good, you know.
Definitely.
And it's not a reflection on Al, it's just a reflection on going forward, really.
Times change, people change.
People change, and the demographics have changed. So the seniors of yesterday are not the seniors of today.
Right.
You know, there's a lot more opportunities for them. They're working longer, they're babysitting, and the types of offerings in programs and services that a senior center offers has changed dramatically as well. You know, so when I came on board in July, you know, I met the staff. I certainly met all our seniors. I feel it's their senior center. It's their place. It's their home. They should have what they want. So after a small assessment period, we decided to run several open houses, and we had 3 very successful open houses. It's okay to have an open house, but what are the results of that open house? Well, since July, a lot of things have happened at the senior center. We've had over 45 new participants using the senior center shuttle, which I want to get into a little bit later. We've also included 35 new people in the lunch program. Now, that doesn't mean that we have all these folks in every single day. They're intermittently coming to the senior center. However, it does have a major impact on the staff and on the facility itself and on the programs and services. But it's a very positive thing.
Right, and I would like to say to all the seniors in the city of Revere, if you haven't been to the Senior Center, you ought to go there. And by the way, Steve, tell them exactly the type of luncheons we have there, would you?
Yeah, we produce the Revere Senior Power, and what I've tried to do since I've taken over is really customize it to make it more of a reflection of local happenings for seniors, things that they would be interested in, things that the local residents would be interested in. For those of you who are interested in coming to the Senior Center for lunch, we do print a menu every month for what we offer every day. And there's a nice nutritious balance, and we have a lot of very healthy, nutritious meals. It's only $1.50 for a meal. All you have to do is call the Senior Center a day before, put your name in. When you come in the next day for lunch, you'll see one of the women that work at the table who collect the money, check off your name, and give you a coupon. That allows you to go up and get your lunch. And it's a great program.
Right, and since you mentioned one of the women that worked at the table, we had a woman there where she's been out for a little while because of illness, to Miss Lillian Hibbard. Yeah. Lillian, I hope you get well, and thank you for all the things you do for us seniors.
And it's a very important job she has, or whoever's doing that, because
right.
I want to explain to the people out there that, you know, the money that we collect for the lunches, $1.50 per day, we have to keep very accurate records on who comes to eat and what the amounts are that we raise through the lunch program, because we have many forms for reimbursement. We do get reimbursed from the state for the lunchers. I don't know if people know that. What that allows me to do as a director is to keep track of our inventory and to order from different vendors the foods and the vegetables, the fruits, the meats that we produce for the following month. So it's very important that we keep accurate records. That position is very important.
Definitely. Steve,
Yeah.
I would like you to tell the people, correct me if I'm incorrect, we also have coffee in the morning
right.
with a donut. And tell them how much that goes for.
35 cents.
Yeah, that's like a holdup.
That's right. It's great. And I just want to mention this. Not only do we provide the coffee, but we're very fortunate that Honeydew Donuts on Squire Road provides us with donuts, bagels, and muffins every week. So we don't pay for that, but the money that we raise for the coffee comes back to the Senior Center for things that we need.
That's good, because I'm not going to mention any particular business, but a lot of the businesses donate gift cards to us.
Yes, yes. In fact, it's interesting. When I first came there and we decided to have 3 open houses, I went around to all the different restaurants and retail shops, and I was amazed at the generosity of many of our businesses. And they provided a lot of these these gift certificates to use as raffles.
Right, and also before we speak of number 2, I want to go to number 3. Number 3, the new handicap access. Tell them.
Well, this may be a small thing to most people, but you know, at the senior center, it's very difficult for people to move around. And I say that because a lot of them have not wheelchairs, but they have mobility issues, and some of them have canes. Many of them have walkers. Now, this may seem a very trite improvement, but we have all accessible handicap toilets. And believe it or not, that makes a big difference for somebody who struggles walking and maneuvering. So it's a really good thing, and there's been a very positive feedback about that. It's more of a comfort thing for
Right,
them.
and you also have a special place for handicapped people.
Well, the toilets are...
a special room for them.
Yeah, we do. We also have a special room for them as well,
Okay.
with the bars and everything else that goes with it.
Right.
Right.
Now I got to ask you about how to get the people to the senior center. You need transportation. Take off on that one.
Well, for a long time, there's been a need for a new shuttle van, and as most people in the audience and out there know, we work diligently with the East Boston Neighborhood Health Center in trying to acquire a van, and they were generous to provide us with a new used van, I should say, that was totally refurbished. They not only cleaned and detailed it, they upgraded the engine, they fixed all the body parts that needed to be adjusted, they painted it, and they provided us free of charge a brand new used van, which is much more easily used for people who cannot walk into the van. It has an elevator lift actually too, so it's pretty good.
It's good for the handicapped.
Right, right.
And now I'm a senior citizen. I want to use the van. How do I go about it?
Well, what we do is we have you come into the senior center first. We want you to register.
I'm handicapped and I can't walk. Let's say either both.
Well, you can send somebody.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
Okay.
And what you do is you buy a book. We register. We want to know your name, your address, your telephone number, and especially an emergency contact person, okay? So basically, you're registering, and you buy a book of tickets for $10. $10. Each ride is $1 or one coupon. You know, there has to be a value in what you're doing. You know, and the senior center van is used for probably an average of 35 to 40 people on a daily basis who come for lunch only. So that's their lifeblood, coming to the senior center. They get out. They otherwise would be stuck in their homes, isolated. So it's very important that they get preferential treatment to come to the senior center, spend a few hours, have lunch, play bingo, or play cards, or whatever they want to do, and then they're shuttled home. The other thing that we use the van for is to take people to medical appointments, to the various stop and shops in the area. They go to dental appointments. We take them to the hairdresser. There's a number of different places that we take them to, and that's very important as well.
Right. The other thing I would like to ask you, if I may, Steve, as a senior citizen myself, the $10 coupon book is for local rides in the city of Revere.
Right.
But I also understand you go to the Square One Mall.
Yeah, I talked about the significant increases in numbers of people at the senior center, particularly those who are using the shuttle van. So it's a little bit more complex to schedule days outside of the city. We do go to the Square One Mall. We do go to Walmart in Lynn. But because of the increase in numbers, it's been very difficult to accommodate those people. So I'm going to segue into the next part in that we really need an additional van. That way I can use one for the lunch people that come every day and one for those that need appointments someplace. So one of the things ideally that I see in the future is to have an additional van, have designated days to use that particular van outside of the lunch crowd, and to have a specific additional person, another requisition to fill that driver position.
So that's pretty good. So
Yeah.
actually you only got one van doing that.
We have one van right now, yes, and one driver.
Right. I assume you're looking for another van or hope to get another
Well,
van?
I'm in the process of looking at several grants and other opportunities out there where we can find something that would be suitable for taking people to appointments in medical facilities and that kind of thing.
Right, that would be good.
Yeah,
More vans,
there's
more
definitely
people.
yeah, there's definitely a need for it. That's for sure.
Okay.
That's for sure.
And by the way, I forgot to ask you one question, which the people out there would like to know. The hours of the senior center is from
8:30 to 4:30 every day.
Right.
Every day.
and during like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, they play bingo,
They play bingo every day except Wednesday.
which they show some of the latest movies, I believe.
Right now, well, on Wednesday we have a new program now that we're going to get all the movies from Netflix or Redbox. So
Are they going to be some of the latest, Steve?
They are the most current movies that we can get. Previously, at least in the last 8 months that I've been there, and probably before, people have donated movies to show. Now I'm instituting a program where we can get the most current movies, and that's what's going to happen from now on.
And is there any charge for the seniors to come to see the movies?
Oh, no, and we provide a nice snack. They have coffee and cake and cookies, and you know, it's really a nice group. I call it the movie group because they all come on Wednesday, and we have anywhere from 15 to 20 people that watch a movie, so
That's
it's a good thing.
So to the people of Revere, if you're doing nothing on Wednesday, pack the house because there's a lot of good movies coming up.
Right, and we have a lot of new programs that we want to institute. You know, we had these open houses, and I had a survey taken, and we're almost complete with all the results, and I'm going to be publishing the results. And one thing I do want to mention is that we are exploring a number of new programs in health and exercise. There is a major interest in a writing workshop, book clubs, bereavement groups. I've been approached by people who want to have cards like whist, Texas Hold'em, poker. So there is a lot of interest. For the edification of people out there, I want to let them know that we also have a pool table, a billiards table. It's underused right now. So if you know a group of guys or women or a mixed group that want to come in and play pool, we actually have a nice table for that.
Right. Now, is there any age limit for people coming into the senior center?
Well, we prefer people who are 60 plus.
Right.
You know, so there's really no maximum age. In fact, we have a person that's going to be 100 years old tomorrow, and we're having a big birthday celebration for Sal Santoro, as you know. So there is no limit to the age that you come in.
Wow, so it could be a 40-year difference between 60 and
There
100
could.
plus.
They absolutely could.
Okay. The next question I have for you is, it says open up the senior center to generations on a
Right.
weekly basis for...
Well, Generations, Inc. is a program that is run by Sal Camerata in this region. And basically, it's a mentoring program.
Yep.
Where seniors and others help educate, help monitor, help mentor people in various capacities. So I was approached way back, I think it was in August, if they could use our facility. And obviously, one of my goals is to open up the senior center to the community groups. I think it's important to build and form partnerships with different groups in the city. So they come every month, a certain number of designated days. In fact, they have over 50 volunteers, and this month they're coming into our facility to show an appreciation for all their volunteers. So they're going to have a bingo and raffles and music on one day, and another day I'm opening up the bocce court to them, and they're going to enjoy a nice afternoon of bocce.
Yep, I'm glad you mentioned the music. We have a gentleman there who plays the, I can use the word loosely, I won't mention his name. We have a gentleman, he plays the old time, the new time, and some of the latest.
Well, we are fortunate to have this gentleman there. He does provide a lot of you know, good music, and it makes the place much more enjoyable, comfortable, welcoming. His name is Morris.
That's my twin brother. I wish you didn't mention it, but go ahead.
No, but we're very fortunate to have you do that, and it really does bring a lot of joy to people, and they
Yep.
enjoy it, particularly when we have functions. You know, at the senior center, as you know, you play all the music at the senior centers, and we do have other people come in to play music live. We have about, I would say every month we have at least one major function. And people get up and dance, and we have a nice luncheon of some kind for every holiday. In fact, this is February now? Yeah, it is. Valentine's party coming up.
But we have more than just one function every month, Steve, because we have the birthday parties for
Right.
the people born on that month.
That's correct.
So you take over on that one.
Yeah, every month we, well, you actually keep a record of whose birthday it is for that particular month, but we always have a nice sheet cake, and we acknowledge all those people who had a birthday during a particular month.
You're right, and we honor each and every one of them, and we have a birthday cake for them. coffee for them, and sometimes a little prize for them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
Can I just segue into something else that I want people to know about out there that's
Whatever you
important?
wish, whatever you wish.
Okay. One of the things that we found out over the last 8 months is that there were conflicting trips for seniors, okay, both multi-day and daily trips. There are a number of groups in Revere that run trips for seniors. The Rossetti Cowan Senior Center, the Patriot Civic Club Senior Club, you know, the senior club over there.
Yep.
The Somerville Council on Aging, the Winthrop Council on Aging, and the Chelsea Council on Aging. And there's a group from Burlington, and they're all competing against each other, which resulted in a lot of cancellations, a lot of conflicting dates,
Right.
whether they be trips to Mohegan Sun, trips down to Mystic, Connecticut, whatever it might be. So we've had a number of meetings over the last 4 months at least, and we've created a master calendar, and we are working together. We call this group Trips for All. In other words, we want to provide trips on a master calendar for all the different groups in these communities so that seniors will have the best available, and they won't have to decide, well, I can't go to Foxwoods or Mohegan today on this day because there's a trip to AquaTurf on this day. Now they have a choice, and they'll be able to, we'll be doing cross-promotion. So if you want to go to a trip that's spearheaded by, say, the Winthrop Council on Aging, we'll help promote that. In turn, if we have a trip going to New Orleans with Irma and Friends, which is another group in Revere,
Right.
well, we'll help promote Irma's trip. So vice versa. So we're all helping each other, and it's working out very well. It's in the infancy stages. We've created a schedule. We're working together. We're promoting flyers throughout the city at different venues. And like I said, it's only going to get better.
Right, I was going to ask you a question, Steve. Would it be possible, like, to take, for example, the Revere Senior Power newsletter and put the whole newsletter, I mean, the things like either on TV or Facebook or YouTube, would that be possible?
Well, one of the things on our to-do list is to complete the web page on the city's website with the senior news.
Oh, you mean Revere TV 8?
No, revere.org.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so on there, every department is working on their website. One of our to-do lists is to how to convert this particular newsletter, which has all the current activities and more,
Right.
and make them available on revere.org. Additionally,
Oh, I see.
what we do is we take snippets of what might be in the newsletter, and we'll send them to Bob Dunbar at Revere TV, and he'll actually post the trips. He'll post special presentations of people that are coming in to speak about, you know, Alzheimer's or assisted living or financial, whatever it might be. So we are doing that already on the Community News Bulletin.
Right, another great thing that the Senior Center is contemplating on doing, which is still in the works yet, is about helping seniors like myself do computer, tablets. Could you elaborate on
Right.
that?
Well, there's two things happening. Lois Diamond, who's been working at the Senior Center for many years, runs a very basic computer class, and we have a computer room. And the first class is actually in its third week right now. So that's happening. Additionally, going back maybe about 2 or 3 months, I was approached by John Ferrara at the school, Revere High School, as well as Jessica Theriault, who is the vice principal of the Freshman Academy. They approached me and asked if we would be interested in iPads. And I said, absolutely. So as a result of that, and what ultimately grew, was that the Senior Center, as of 3 weeks ago, was awarded 10 iPads worth $6,000 from the Educational Technology Program Fund. So the Senior Center will be receiving 10 iPads. Now, the idea behind the iPads and the receipt of them is so that the Genius Bar, which is a group of students at Revere High School, will come to the Senior Center and teach seniors how to use the iPads. So it's an intergenerational, interactive program. Now, I can tell you right now, people have been calling because they've heard about this. And having just received an email from Jessica, the curriculum is in its draft stage. We're going back and forth to make sure that we have enough sessions and enough material to cover. So the ideal behind this is that the seniors will be teaching the seniors, and the juniors and the seniors will be teaching the seniors, if you will.
I got to elaborate just a little bit more on this. I had the Paul Revere School. I had a couple of kids on there that were 7,
Yeah.
and the oldest one was a gentleman by the name of Israel, 11, or 10 or 11. They're willing to help And they use the tablets, by the way. They're even themselves willing to help the seniors learn how to do it. So maybe you could contact Mrs. Barbara Kelly, and she would be glad to help you.
Well, I have been in contact with her as well as Nicole Doucette
Right.
at the Paul Revere School. And basically, and I think you participated this years ago, where seniors will be going to the Paul Revere School and being interviewed by the students. And then those interview results will be published and put in the newspaper and other places. We'll also be working with other schools as well as we try to expand, working our seniors with our children, you know.
Right.
It's
Another good thing this Revere Senior Center does, and I can vouch for that, you send veterans, people who have been in the wars like Korea, Vietnam, etc., to the schools to talk to the kids. And of course, the schools call you up and you send over 5 or 6. Are we still in the works on that one?
Yeah, we absolutely are. Additionally, you know, as you know, Rebecca Peoples of Bonfilio Funeral Home.
Right.
She actually presented a nice seminar on a program that she uses to help people cope with the loss of a veteran or even a loved one.
Right.
By making using their articles, the deceased articles, and for instance, if you had if your father passed away, for instance, and you had a special shirt that he wore all the time, she helps make something that you can use, you know, such as a pocketbook or whatever, and use maybe jewelry of some kind, and creates things like that for them. So that's a good thing.
Right, and I have to say, Rebecca Peoples and Paul Bonfiglio mentioned to me a story that he was down in Bourne Veteran Cemetery, down the Mass National Cemetery, and he saw a soldier who was killed being buried, but he was the only one being buried. There was no family there, no nothing there, so Mr. Bonfiglio got together to make sure that no soldier or no veteran gets buried alone.
Right. And, well, speaking of veterans and seniors, this is what we have going on at the Senior Center. There's a knitting group at the Senior Center, okay? And one of the things the knitting group does is make knit caps for the soldiers. They're in Iran and Afghanistan and other outposts, so that they can wear under their helmets. I think you have a sample of it there.
Right, I got 2 samples, so let me tell you why I got 2. I didn't know that, but thank God for Miss Lois Diamond. She explained it to me. One is they wear if it's cold outside, naturally. Right. And these hats go both to the hospitals and to the veterans.
Right.
But there's one special hat they make that goes under their helmet.
Right.
And the reason they do that, because when they are in Afghanistan or in Iraq, it gets very cold at night, and this keeps the metal from making them a solid head, if I could use that.
That's right, that's right.
So before we continue, Steve, tell them what we need, because we do need yarn, colored yarn, to be donated to the Revere Senior Center to make these hats.
Right, and one of the things Lois asked me to mention while I was here is that, you know, if you have a talent in knitting or yarn work, we would love to have you come to the Senior Center. If you don't know how to knit, they will teach you, because beyond just the veterans' hats that are made, okay, we also have a group in the knitting class that make blankets for the neonatal unit at Tufts Medical Center. Here's a sample of a blanket.
Right,
okay?
there's 2 blankets there. One is a baby blanket and one is
I think this is the baby blanket.
no, this one right here.
Oh, that one's the baby blanket, okay.
Right. That don't mean the seniors are having babies. I mean,
no, that's, that would be something. Yeah, so that's a beautiful knit blanket.
Right.
And basically...
Let me hold it up and show it to them right here.
Yeah. At MGH, those blankets are also used for those babies that are born that have cancer as well. So,
like for Dana-Farber Hospital and those
at
children's
MGH.
hospital?
Yes, yes, yes. This blanket, the big one, is a sample of a blanket that the knitting group makes for the Coalition for the Homeless. They have a program called Bed for Every Child. And believe it or not, in this country and in this area, there are homeless children and parents.
You're right, because we had a nun up here a few months back who was looking for beds, furniture for the homeless children on there.
Right. So there's a major need to provide this Coalition for the Homeless Center blankets. So, you know, you look at this and you say, well, I don't know how to do that. But they'll teach you how to do it.
Right.
It's not that difficult, you know, and you just have to be willing to learn.
And I would like to say Mrs. Diamond does a fabulous job for the recreation at our senior center in every way of the word. So if you have any of these color yarn, make sure you donate them. And can you just hold that up, Steve?
Yeah, sure.
So they could see the colors. If you have any of those colored yarn, please donate them to the senior center at 25 Winthrop Avenue, Revere, Mass.
Right.
And the number is 781-286-8156. If you have a lot and you can't travel to deliver it, we'll pick it up.
Well, let me just say this as well in regard to this. Recently, we purchased some bins, okay, at a local big box store. They're the clear bins,
Right.
and that stores the yarns. Okay, we are in need of bins at the senior center. Preferably the clear colored bins.
Right.
You know, seniors have a hard time lifting and getting yarn from these bins, but if they're clear and they're on top of each other stacked and you can see through them, they can ask somebody, oh, can you pull these two down? I need that particular
So
color
if you
or
need
whatever.
bins, Steve?
We absolutely need bins.
Tell them where to ship them and how do you...
Well, they
pick
can
them?
contact me at the senior center, 781-286.
8156.
8156.
Right.
So that's the number, and I'd be happy to talk to them. Additionally, you know, at the senior center, we are in need of business furniture, okay? I'm going to do a little promotion here.
No, go right ahead. That's
You
what
know,
we're here for.
you have the Chamber of Commerce in Revere, and you have a
Right.
lot of other businesses that aren't part of that may be renovating their offices. What do they do with the leftover furniture when they get the new stuff
Probably
in?
give it to Salvation Army.
Yeah,
or
but we
Roman
can use it.
Memorial.
We need it. We have 45 people that play bingo every week. We don't have enough chairs for them. I will take business office furniture and look at it, obviously, but we need chairs. We need several desks. We could use tables and file cabinets. So if you are a business out there and you're watching this or you hear about this, please contact me at the Senior Center. I'll be happy to meet with you.
Right, can I ask you one other question, if I may? If they don't want to call you on the phone, 781-286-8156, is there a chance they could email you?
Absolutely. sfielding, Fielding, @revere.org.
So they can do it either way?
Either way.
Okay, that's good. So you people out there, you got furniture you don't need, and we can use them, you know what to do with it.
I also like to mention, while we're talking about different things, we are forming a very strong partnership with the Elder Service Plan, which is a division of the East Boston Neighborhood Health Center. And this is a great thing because they are a very well-known regional organization that not only provides a lot of transportation to their facilities, but to other facilities. And we're working to develop some new, exciting health, exercise, therapeutic, and additional nutritional programs that we will be offering at the Senior Center in Revere. So that's in the beginning stages. We've met over the last few months to establish how we're going to offer them and who we're going to offer them to. In other words, what segment of the senior population could we market and promote and to have a class on. So that's happening as well. So that's another exciting new thing.
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing. For the people that are looking, but they don't know what this is a doll that was made at the Senior Center by Miss Alice Griffin. And she makes dolls, all kinds of little dolls for people. And the money that she gets for them goes to help the Senior Center. So if any of you like this doll, or you would like to see some of those little dolls, stop by at 25 Winthrop Avenue, and Alice will be happy to show you what she does, beside the blankets, the hats, and the dolls. Alice, you yourself are a doll. Thank you.
She is. And you know, people like Alice have special talents. Now,
Right.
I know there's a lot of people out there, whether they be seniors or not, that have special talents, expertise, or love to teach people how to do something that they love.
Oh.
I welcome anybody out there who would like to or would be interested in having a class for our seniors, no matter what age. If you have a talent in woodworking, if you have a special writing talent, if you have a crafts talent, if you would be interested in helping form a bereavement group and have a way in which you can talk to people and be empathetic and comfort people, we welcome that kind of thing at the Senior Center as well.
There's a question I like to say. You know, we're at the early part of the year, but sooner or later, you're going to have to pay your income tax. And every senior,
Yeah.
or everyone probably has to file an income tax. But the seniors do help them, so elaborate on that, Steve.
Well, I was contacted by the Neighborhood Development Group, and I guess in the past they used to come to the Senior Center. But right now, we're working with that group in offering times in which they can do their tax preparation at the library. So the Revere Library has specific times. I have information, and at the Senior Center we have it posted on what days and what times that can be done as well.
And another good thing I would like to say about the Senior Center, which is something fairly new, which we never had before, with a lot of elections coming around this year, next year, and the year after, people that can't get out to vote can pick up absentee ballots or have them delivered at the senior center as well as the election committee.
We have them available, so if somebody is interested in an absentee ballot, all they have to do is contact one of the staff people when they're at the senior center.
And by the way, if some people can't get out and the driver happens to be taking them to the hospital or somewhere, he can also give them an absentee ballot?
If they request it, or we can mail it, we'll make sure they get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The other thing is, you know, we have a great watercolor and art class at the Senior Center,
right.
Okay? And recently they had an exhibit, and it was very successful. And one of the things that I'm trying to do at the Senior Center is show more of an appreciation for the arts. And as you know, in the past, after they had their art exhibit, all those beautiful watercolor arts and prints would be put away, okay? If they didn't sell, they would be put away in a box. So now we have them on display. So I approached every artist that we have, and they just love the fact that they can display their artwork on the walls of the Senior Center. So as you go in the Senior Center, on all the walls going all around, the particular artwork that they did with their name on it as the artist is on display, and we're hoping to expand that as well.
So anyone out there who's an artist who could do the good artwork can come to the Senior Center and show them.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, you know, we have an art class, and it's taught by Anthony Arcitello.
Right.
Arcitello, okay?
Excellent.
Now, all these artists were taught by him. Many of them didn't have talent or didn't realize they had the talent until he brought it out in them. And he's done a fabulous job. So if you are interested in that, please come to the Senior Center.
I've seen his paintings, and let me tell you, they really are beautiful.
They are beautiful. It's funny, when you come into the first floor of the Senior Center, right in the hall, there's paintings from Norman Gautreaux, and there's one of Revere Beach in the Victorian days that Anthony did. And it's right over the door as you enter into the Senior Center, and it's a beautiful piece of art.
Beautiful. I'm telling you, the Senior Center, there's a lot of good things, and, you know, we still got plenty to go.
And I want people to understand that you don't have to be an older senior to come to the Senior Center. We have a volunteer group now that we're trying to formulate, and we have about 10 or 15 really solid seniors, and we could use your help. I would love to have a social committee, a fundraising committee. We'd like to have people help in the office. We're trying to convert a lot of paper into a database. For instance, we have one senior that has been doing data entry for 4 months now and trying to create a database of all our seniors. And this is really important in transforming our senior center into a technology-driven senior center as well. One of the things that's one of my goals is to acquire a software package that a lot of other senior centers have. It's called My Senior Center. Okay, and what it is if you've gone to other senior centers in the area, you get a card and you scan the card, and it has a barcode on it. It has all your personal information, particularly the emergency contact information should we need to contact somebody. But if you're going to come for lunch, you scan it. We know that you came for lunch. If you're going to a knitting class, a bocce class, a Tai Chi class, a Zumba with line dancing class, that way we can track it. Right now everything's done on paper. We need to track this stuff so that we can be sustainable, and the way we're sustainable is through a formula grant in the state. The state has provided us with a grant, and that helps pay for a lot of what we do with the Senior Center.
Right. Before we continue, I would like to ask you the future of the Senior Center. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I've had a chance to observe a lot of things at the Senior Center the last 8 months.
Give us the pros and cons, because
and I've also visited other senior centers in Winthrop, Saugus, Chelsea, Malden. We actually need a new or refurbished senior center, preferably new. The senior center right now, when you first look at it and you come in, you say, oh, this is pretty nice, you know, but if you really look, we have some issues, some physical and structural issues that need to be attended to. And ideally, I would love to have a one-level senior center with specific rooms and multi-purpose rooms for our seniors that is very handicapped accessible with more parking. So it's very high on my agenda, and I know Mayor Rizzo is determined to help us in any way he can to have a new or refurbished senior center.
Right, and I also noticed down here, I know you mentioned this before, that you're looking for grants for an additional van, as well as a driver. So maybe you could pitch for a driver before we get the van and get some applications.
I do need it. I would have to have another driver for that van, but that's something that I have to work internally with the mayor's office, and it's not something I can't advertise for a van driver. There are certain
Regulations?
internal and union things that I have to deal with. So I know that there are a lot of people that have inquired about being available to drive a van, and they're all great people, but I have to go through the proper channels to do that. And I know if there's a commitment to another van, I'm almost sure that we'll get another driver for that.
Okie dokie, okie dokie.
Right.
The new, you talked about the new senior center. Yeah, about the Northeast Metropolitan Technical School.
Well, it's interesting. Ron Janino's our representative for Revere for Northeast Metro Technical School, which is located in Wakefield. And fortunately, he came down. I've known him for a long time, and he came down, and I was showing him different things that need to be done at the senior center. And basically, I submitted 10 key items that actually needed to be addressed at the senior center that the kids do. As you know, they take on projects like house building and renovations, and what happens is they provide the labor while they're learning. The senior center or whoever the recipient would be responsible for the cost. So that's a major savings. So I'm waiting to hear if we are been approved to go forward with some of these things.
Oh, okay. Let's see what else we got here. Talking about the senior center, the senior power news, why don't we tell them some of the lunches? Because we just tell them we have lunches for $1.50, but if we tell them some of these...
Well, before we get to that, I want to make sure people realize this, and you know this. We also use a lot of local vendors.
Right.
Bianco's. Okay, we use Bianco's. Liberto's. Here's an example of a lunch. Okay, today we have spaghetti with sauce, and we have 3 women that total probably about 65 years experience working in this senior center. Total experience. Have been there since...
Mention them.
We have Maria Liccardi,
yep.
We have Loretta Papa, and we have Angela Toscano. They have been there approximately a total of 60 years, working with Al Morelli all the way through and currently to provide nutritious meals. And they're very experienced. The meals that we get at the senior center are the same meals that you might get at a restaurant, because we purchase all our meals not only from the local vendors but also from the local wholesalers. So it's something we put a lot of attention to. Here's an example. On a Tuesday, we'll have pastrami in a roll with mustard, sweet potatoes, minestrone soup, and vanilla pudding, milk, coffee, or tea.
And that's all for $1.50.
$1.50. A popular item is cheese lasagna with meat sauce, a garden salad, fresh French rolls from Liberto's, and milk, coffee, or tea. Okay?
Still $1.50.
$1.50.
Keep going.
Our Valentine's Day luncheon this month.
That's right. Which is...
Now, the ladies that I just mentioned will actually make this from scratch using the ground beef that we get from Bianco's. And it's shepherd's pie with gravy, whipped potatoes, real whipped potatoes, whole wheat bread, sliced pears, milk, coffee, or tea, as well as other desserts that might be coming along. So
$1.50.
$1.50. $1.50. Where else could you go for $1.50?
Right.
And it's good, nutritious meals. So in preparing a menu like this, you try to have a balanced nutrition meals. You can't please everybody, obviously, but you always try to accommodate people as much as possible. Sometimes it's fun. Now, tomorrow, okay, one of our vendors provided us with a free meal. It's a cheese, bean, and rice puff. It's like a burrito type sandwich. And we tried this once for the movie crowd on a Wednesday, and it went over pretty well. So tomorrow is a big day. Tuesday and Thursday seems to be the days that we have most of our crowd there. So we're going to try this meal and see how it goes over.
Right. No, but Steve, I would like to say we have a community participation of the restaurants. And we had the Good Diner, and I do want to emphasize the Good Diner amongst other restaurants, who came in and gave us, I believe, 100 meals one day.
Yeah, we had a special Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving meal. It was a week before Thanksgiving. It was not a regular lunch meal. We had a little dinner at 4 p.m. and Sabir, who owns the Good Diner, was nice enough to provide us with well, actually, it was over 100 specialized meals for our seniors. And obviously, we had music, and you played the music, and there was dancing, and we had a lot of donations for
why we had less seniors. There was so much dancing.
That's right. That's right. So we try to do things like that, you know, and I think it's really good.
And it's good because I'll tell you why, Steve. I love it because restaurants like Companion, Domino's, and all the restaurants in the city of Revere. There's a brand new one that just moved in. They've only been here about 7 months, 6 months. B&W. They give us gift certificates that we use for the seniors, which they donate, and that's community participation, and we love it.
Right. I also, you know, I'm kind of, we're jumping all over the place, but that's okay.
Because we only got about 14 minutes left.
Oh, that's okay. That's plenty of time. I want to make sure that people understand that we do have a Council on Elder Affairs.
Please do.
And the Council on Elder Affairs are the eyes and ears of the seniors for me and for the staff at the Senior Center. Now, as you know, because you are one of the council members, we meet once a month and we discuss a number of different things, okay? I just want to mention the people that are on the Council on Elder Affairs. I think it's important that the folks out there know who they are.
Right.
And these are people who are in the community who are well known. We have Nick Jacoby, who was the president of the Council on Elder Affairs.
Right, and I wanted to mention about Nick. He's a Korean veteran, and he was on the honor flight. So thank you, Nick.
Absolutely. Albert Terminello Sr., who's the vice president of our council. Irma Osatello. Everybody knows Irma. Vincent Sonny Camerata, and there are 2 Vincent Cameratas out there, and we love them both, but Sonny Camerata. Sylvia Corin, everybody knows Sylvia. She is a volunteer for a lot of different things. Amadeo Ioko. Somebody by the name of Morris Morris.
Right, that's my twin brother.
That's your twin brother.
Right.
Josephine Bacardi, who happens to be a member of our staff. George Shaheen, who's been on the board for many, many years. Ty Smith. Ty's a wonderful person. And Agnes Fiorelli. So many people know Agnes because she works up at the City Hall in the information desk. So these are people who are on the Council on Elder Affairs, and we make pretty good decisions as a group on what the issues are with seniors, how we can improve the senior center, what we would like to see for our seniors, and it's a nice exchange every month, and we try to ensure that we're providing the best possible programs and services for our seniors.
And I would like to mention one particular senior, not because of all the seniors, they're all equal, but this lady, Eileen Murillo, we got to give her credit. 91 or 92 years old, folks.
I'm not going there.
I'm going there, though, but I'm going there. She was voted Woman of the Year in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and in the city of Revere, and she made a monument for us with all the women of World War II. She went around, collected the names, collected the money, and did everything she could. And I think we honored, the Senior Center honored her, and I think it was a great honor for her to be part of our Senior Center.
You know, Morris, I would also like to mention the names of the staff people at the seniors.
Please do.
A lot of times people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes. They may see me out and talking to somebody in the dining area, or they may see Lois walking by, or Marisa in the office. But there's a lot of work that goes into making the Senior Center run. And without this staff that I want to name and what their position is, it wouldn't be possible. They're very dedicated people. It's not just a job to them. I want to emphasize we really care about our seniors. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. We care about them, their physical well-being, their mental well-being. We want them to enjoy each other. We want them to feel comfortable in a very friendly, safe environment. And these are the folks that make that happen. Marisa Coriali, who I consider an office manager. Lois Diamond, who is our program manager. Joe Picardi, who is our trip coordinator. Jim Carlton, who is filling in as a van driver, a shuttle van driver. He has been with the Senior Center for a long time as a maintenance worker. Gabe Capola, who is a shuttle driver. Chuck Mankin, okay, he is a maintenance person. And you know Chuck, he's a veteran, that's right. And I mentioned these ladies, Loretta Papa, Angela Toscano, Maria Lacciardi, they're all working in the kitchen, and Lillian Hibbard you mentioned at the top of the show, and she's been out for a while, but we really value them. I value them, being a new person and being there for 8 months. I rely on them. A lot of them have been there for a very long time.
I'd like to interject 2 people who are not on the list because they're not part of the list, but they are at the Senior Center. Dottie Mulo.
Dottie Mulo, she's a wonderful, Mulo, I always pronounce her name wrong, but Dottie does a lot of wonderful things. She runs the craft table. Without Dottie, we would be very hard pressed to raise money for
right.
raffles and other things. She not only runs the craft tables, but she goes through anything that's donated. And let me just say, if you have an item, whether it be old jewelry, whether it be tea and
watches even.
Watches, tea and
bracelets,
bracelets,
yep.
blankets, sweaters, clothes, good used clothes. She will look at it. She'll have it cleaned and make sure it's presentable. She'll put a small little price. It's almost like what they used to call a white elephant table years ago.
Like a flea market.
A flea market table. And what she does is amazing. With the stuff that she gets, it's amazing how much money she raises for the senior center.
Right.
She deserves a good shout out.
I would like to mention another one who does it, who's not on the list, but she's part of the senior center. Eleanor Saraboni, where Lillian is out now, she fills in for her.
She does fill in, yep, absolutely, and she does a wonderful job, And we're very fortunate to have a lot of seniors that help out in that regard.
Right, real volunteers. These are the volunteers
That's
volunteer. Right. The other one is Rosalie DeRosa.
Rosalie DeRosa, she helps out in any capacity in the dining area and the kitchen. Darlene Jones, I mentioned somebody that was doing data entry for me, trying to get our stuff into the Excel format, and she's been terrific. We have Karina Espinoza, who comes on occasion, and she helps out tremendously. We have Marie Buckaloo, who works in the office. She came in, she saw all the sugar containers on the table. She took them home, washed them all, then decided these are too old, I'm buying new ones. She did. And
out of her own pocket?
Out of her own pocket. I mean, she is truly, and speaking of Marie, I mentioned the survey that we took during the open houses. It's been a long, tedious process to compile that and put it into an Excel format so that I can present that to the public in the paper and at the senior center in a presentation. She's worked diligently to make that happen, and we're very close to that.
Right, and one that we mentioned before.
I hate to name names because I know I'm going to miss somebody.
No, that's okay. If we missed anyone, we apologize, but let me tell you, every senior is part of our senior center that does something. But there's one lady that really does something. She pays for the things, she buys the things, and she makes the things. And I'm going to let you talk about her again, Miss Alice Griffin.
Alice is amazing. Not only does she make these dolls for raffles and that kind of thing, this is a perfect example.
This is Mrs. United States, by the way.
Well, she also makes pins. Now we're having the Valentine's Day celebration coming up. We had a pin here.
Yep. Do we have a couple of pins here?
I thought we had one in here. Yeah, we have one right in this bag.
Exactly what that.
Live TV, right?
Right.
So she makes these pins. And she makes them not only for Valentine's Day, she made them for Halloween.
She makes them for July 4th, patriotic pins, all kinds of pins.
And you know, it's funny, she does these so fast. She'll sit at a table and within 3 hours she'll have 30 or 40 of these. And she'll basically knit these to a backing. She purchases the materials on her own.
Right.
You know, she doesn't get reimbursed for these. She does these because she loves the seniors and she loves the senior center. These ones have, be mine, love you. So there we go.
Right. Thank you, Alice.
And
thank you to all the seniors that you listed.
Right.
Now, I would like to say another thing, if I may. If we have any people out there who are doctors, lawyers, accountants, bookkeepers, and who would like to volunteer their time, call Mr. Fielding at the Senior Center because we can use every volunteer we can get. And we would like to see more community participation. People think this is only a veteran show. It's a community show as well as a veteran show. And we have some great veterans and some great community people at our center.
And you know, one of the things that we've tried to do over the last 8 months is bring in some speakers. And we've had some pretty good ones, but I'd like to expand that. You mentioned doctors, lawyers. Now, seniors obviously relate to those type of individuals, professionals, nurses. And speaking of nurses, I want to mention Carol Donovan from the city.
Yes, definitely.
She comes every month and she takes blood pressure, and she is a tremendous asset to the senior center.
I want to mention Carol Donovan too, because on the TV show here, when we had the flu shots, I said to Carol, I want to do a flu shot on TV, and she went along with me. So she rolled up my sleeve and she said, look over there. And I said to Carol, let me know when you're done or when I get the needle. She says, I'm done, Morris, so help me. Folks, if you want a nurse that's the top of the line nurse, Carol is the one, because I didn't even feel the needle going, and it was beautiful.
Right.
So thank you, Carol.
Now, Carol comes on the 1st and the 3rd Friday every month to the senior center.
What time? What time?
In the afternoon. You have to call ahead of time
Right.
because she does get booked pretty quickly. She does blood pressure, and she'll have an individual conference for you, and she's very apt at what she does. We also have a monthly podiatry
Right.
service, and Dr. Kaplan comes on the first Wednesday of every month.
And hearing?
Hearing, that is the third Friday of every month, okay? So we do have that. And also we have a chair massage, okay, on the second Monday of every month. Betty Marino comes in.
Is there any charge for these things, if I may ask? Because people want to know.
For the chair massage, it's $5. The podiatrist, I believe, charges $20.
What does he actually do, the podiatrist?
He cuts toenails.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
no, that's...
Yeah, that's what he does. I mean,
Oh.
as you know, as you get older, you know, that's a great need. And I didn't realize that, you know.
I wish I... Well, never mind.
It's something that is very necessary, and it prevents a lot of problems, feet problems for seniors. So it is an important thing. You know, we say, oh, cut toenails, but it is an important issue. It really is.
And by the way, we also have, like I said, we're going to have doctors coming in talking
Right.
about... But we also have the police come in talking about scams.
Right. One of the things that I would like to do is I would like to have the police, through our community liaison, maybe Dennis Mashala, through Officer Salvati or whoever.
Chief Caffarelli?
Chief Caffarelli, absolutely, to come in and speak to seniors about particular issues. And there are a number of issues that should be addressed to seniors to prevent issues with them.
Right,
you know.
Stephen. Another good thing would have someone, either Chief Dory or someone from the fire department come in.
Yeah.
Because what happened was many years ago, I believe right across from our local police, the old police station, a woman who was an elderly woman died because of a fire because she forgot to do what elderly people usually forget.
Right. And, you know, I just want to give a thanks to our fire department in particular, and also the Cataldo EMT group, because we had a couple of incidents last month where seniors took a fall.
Right.
And I can't tell you how quickly they came and administered help to them. And we also had a woman who had a seizure in our office. Within seconds, somebody was on the scene helping us, you know, and taking care of her. So, you know, it's very important that people realize that if you have a parent or you're an elderly person that has a concern about something that might happen to them, we have a very strong connection with our fire department and the EMTs in the area, and they respond immediately.
Okay, we have about 3 minutes left. So, Steve, take a couple of minutes, leave me 1 minute, and wrap it up with anything you'd like to say.
Okay. Over the last 8 months, we've tried to create a new cultural environment. We want to be a welcoming, receptive senior center. It is a senior center for seniors.
Right.
And you have to let us know what you like, what you don't like. We have an open door policy. We want you to come to the senior center. You don't have to be over 75. You don't have to be over 70. You have to be over 60. We're trying to attract the younger senior as well. And we're open to new programs and services. If you have a special talent, if you have any suggestions, if you know professionals that you think would be able to provide some information or referral services to our seniors, please contact us. Anyone at the office can help, and we will definitely respond to that.
And they can either write it into you at 25 Winthrop Avenue or email it.
Or my email, sfielding@revere.org.
Right. And if they want to call, can they call?
Absolutely. We take every call. 781-286-8156.
Okay, very good, Steve. By the way, before we close, I got to say one other thing. I started the show up by saying thank you, Al. I'm going to say thank you again, Al, for all the things you did for our seniors for 35 years, and God bless you. And Steve, thank you for coming on the show, and God bless you too.
You too.
And God bless our troops, our veterans, but most of all, our great country, the United States of America. Until the next time, to the people of Revere, thank you for listening.